Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of a pretty little podcast. I'm Allie Violet Vixen Commissaro, and here with me is my insanely rad co host, Jesse.
Hi guys, welcome back. We're excited to get into it tonight. It is a beautiful, kind of sweaty day in Philadelphia, so we're ready.
I know every day I'm like, is it going to be hot? Is it going to be
It's gonna be
cold? I keep
cold.
going back and forth, but
I can't
I'll
take
take any hot weather we can
it,
get
right?
after it being so cold for the last few months.
Definitely. And with so much
Okay.
stuff going on.
We have so much to get into. First, I want to talk about Team Tinman and the benefit coming up in Hillary Tinman's honor. They started this as a way to support Hillary and Jonathan through the battle. However, over time, they realized they didn't just want to stop there. Team Tinman has said moving forward, they will be working to help as many families dealing with the daily strains of fighting cancer as possible. Hillary changed the lives of every person she has met. Team Tinman plans to not let this stop now. Her life and legacy will live on through not only her family, but amazing work, her name, story, and fight to help others. John and Hillary Tinman are huge fans of Nailbite. They discovered them through DW Presents a little over a year ago. They have traveled hundreds of miles to come see them play, and over the last year, Hillary has been through so much. Last summer, Hillary was diagnosed with brain cancer, or, well, a brain tumor, and had surgery to get it removed. Not even a few weeks after the surgery, she was on the rail at Louder Than Life. A few weeks later, she was diagnosed with terminal brain and breast cancer. This benefit is to help the financial hardship of the Tinman family and what they've endured over the last few months. I say with a heavy heart that Hillary passed on April 10th. Her husband, Jonathan, confirmed it with a heartfelt post on both his site and on the Team Tinman group on Facebook. As you saw earlier, we had shown some pictures. I'm going to put up the picture again with Hillary on the rail in her wheelchair at Louder Than Life,
Wow.
which was a really cool festival. You see Lana up there from Nail
Yeah.
Bite, and she's just ripping it. And yeah, Hillary traveled all the way with everything else going on to be there and be up front for that event. The second picture is with Hillary and Jonathan with the band.
It
For
takes a
more,
special kind of person with all those adversities to wake up and still want to enjoy life.
yeah, and I think that's why Nailbite and all the bands that are involved in this cool event, it they really feel so
Yeah.
passionate towards this project. I mean, they've been really working on it for months and really just putting everything they have into
Right.
making sure it is in honor of Hillary. I mean, it's been cool to even get to be part of it and talk with the band and talk with John Biting and just all these different people and see how much Hillary has affected them. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing. For more information on the Team Tinman event, please visit nail_bite_official, or you can join the Team Tinman movement It's a charity or organization on Facebook. Just go under Team Tin Men. Most of the posts are hashtagged with Team Tin Men. Um, the actual event, again, will be on April 29th at Love Drafts in Mechanicsburg, PA, which I heard is a just the coolest venue, and I'm so excited to get out there and finally like experience it for
Experience it.
myself.
Yeah.
Um, come out. It's a great cause, great music. Seriously, go on any of the band's sites, Team Tinman, all of them. Very easy to order tickets. Some of the bands that are going to be there, speaking of good music, Mag Dylan, of course, Nailbite, Saint Diablo, Transverse the Abyss, and Asava. Doors open at 5 p.m. Okay. Tonight's guest is a true rock star. For over 25 years, he has performed for millions of fans across the world. With banger hits like Halo, he makes the bodies hit the floor, lead singer of Soil and Drowning Pools, Ryan McCombs.
Hell
How
yeah.
am I supposed to follow a penguin?
Like I told
I
you,
feel like I'm scared to
get
go.
ready to have some fun. She
Yep.
was just telling us about all her different. She has a fox and a bear.
I got a fox. I got a bear. I got enough deer. I got like 4 or 5 deer. The thing about living in Pennsylvania, deer's $10 easy. So I got all kinds. I got stupid stuff. Bobcat.
So basically, you're on Noah's Ark.
I yes, and you can touch all of them. Like, oh, I have a wildebeest. So like I have like all the animals and I'm like, "Oh, I could never touch that, but I own it." So, you know,
What does the penguin feel like
the
with
penguin feels like wrong, I guess. Like it feels like a down blanket or like it almost feels like a it feels kind of creepy. Like I always tell people when they come over, they're like, "Is that a penguin?" I'm like, "It is." And you can give it a poke because it feels gross. And they're like, "Oh, that does feel weird." It feels like a feathery memory foam mattress is what it feels like because they're like nice and
that was
Yeah,
such a good description.
I
Like
it
think you
does.
nailed it with it, that it feels wrong.
It feels wrong. Yeah,
Yeah, I like that. It just feels wrong.
it does feel wrong. Does it feel wrong to own? You know, there's a gray area for your hobbies sometimes. You gotta, you know,
Someone's gonna own
whatever.
it. It might as well be you. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
right.
I would have him right. Do you have
There's
him
no
like
guy
right
gives
near the
life
door?
away.
Yeah.
Jesse, do you have him like right near the door when you walk in?
I had him in my living room. Since I'm in between where I'm living right now, I'm like everybody gets a everybody gets a house a little something for me, you know, and people are enjoying that. But you know,
So he gets to enjoy
he
Thrasher
gets
pizza
to
night.
enjoy Penguin Stefani. He does, yeah. They all got names, stupid names. I got this Bobcat's named SpongeBob. I got a bear named Winnie the Pooh. But we all got
Well, that would
hobbies.
make sense.
Yeah, Pooh Bear, my little Pooh Bear.
Yeah.
But
I'm not sure about the SpongeBob Bobcat, but well,
the
Bob. All
sponge,
right, I got where you're coming. Okay. I
yeah,
understand where you're
you
coming
get
from.
it's starting to
I'm
click.
I'm I'm scared, but I think I'm getting where you're coming from.
It's just stupid enough.
So, speaking of like, I guess what some people would consider weird, Jesse and I just consider it every day. But would you say that you have any like weird collections or things that people wouldn't expect you to collect? I think he froze.
Yeah, he did freeze. It was the best place to freeze.
I know.
Am I frozen to you?
What? You cut
Uh,
out for a
cut
second.
out for a second. Yeah, you're good. I think.
All right.
Okay. Do you have any weird collections that you have that people wouldn't expect you to have?
I can't even. I can't like come in after that. I don't have a stuffed penguin or a bobcat or anything that I would have would be just lame at this point.
Damn. It feels
Yeah.
good to blow it out of the water, you know?
I collect stories of shame and regret. That's what I do. Right? That's
Those
what I
are the
collect that.
best though. Those are like the best stories though. When people be telling you and you're like, excuse me?
Well,
That's what
I
I've
was
been
gonna
lately.
wait till a little later to say it, but do you have any like guilty pleasures? Like Jessie has told us before that she has like a Thrasher pizza night.
I have thrash pizza night. It is Megadeth and
What
cheese and municipal waste. That is the night. And horror movies.
that I I don't even know where to follow with any of that. I'm lost on all of it. So you have a Thrasher pizza night. That's
Yeah, it's pizza thrash night, VHS horror movies, municipal waste, and we ordered pizza and it's black olives and pepperonis because you gotta have the ronies.
I like all of that.
Yep,
It's
it's a
just
good time.
We basically talk
this
about
should
pizza
become a thing.
every episode.
It's pizza thrash night. It's the best night of the week.
What night is it?
It's usually on like a weekend. We usually do it like
It's not a
we
fixed no.
it's not on a fixed schedule. It's on the night that we're like we want pizza, and I'm pulling out the flipped brim hat, and the cutoffs, you know, or the four-sided thrash long sleeve. Like that is what I'm doing. Like if I hear we're ordering pizza, that's what we're doing. It's pizza thrash night. Dust
All
off
right.
the VHS tapes.
Yeah, my whole
And
house is
VHS.
happy as anything.
Yeah,
Whenever I say let's order pizza, yeah, 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 it's never an argument.
yeah. It's got to be
I
authentic.
like the fact that you go back to the VHS tapes is really what makes it.
Yeah. We got the VHS horror collection too, so it's like so you gotta
That's
watch some.
keeping it real.
Yeah, you gotta watch some Demon Wind on VHS. Watch or something like
See, I can't do horror movies.
you can't really, huh?
Really?
No, I'm one of the few people I know. I can't. I don't do horror movies. I went to. We were on a Soil was on like
Yeah.
Saw 2 soundtrack or something like that way back in the day. I'm really
Okay.
dating myself here. I mean,
Yeah.
you already made the 25 comment thing, which pretty much I was old as dirt. But the but you go back to like I think there's what 700 different Saw movies now. If you go all
Yeah.
the way back to the beginning of time, there was a Saw 2. We were on that soundtrack, and I went to go to the theater to watch the movie there.
Yeah.
Show up my support. It's cool on the soundtrack. Kind of want to be that little geek and have a moment. And
Yeah.
those movies are different in the aspect that really they're just tense. Like
Hmm.
you're watching somebody like all that shit they're doing is all you're watching
It's
somebody get
twisted
hurt and you're
shit.
just like so yeah. By the time I got out of the theater, I had been so tensed up for whatever
Yeah.
2 hours, whatever the movie was. I felt like physically I'd been in a car wreck.
Yeah.
And at that point, I was just like, I'm not paying money to feel this way. This is bullshit.
Yeah. I
And
actually
I
know
yeah.
people who feel like that. I'm gonna be honest. You put me in one of the Saw movies, I'm chewing off my own leg immediately. I'm giving up. I'm checking out. I'm not screwing with the clown on the tricycle. Jigsaw, absolutely not. He can have me. Like I'm not fighting a good fight. I'm not trying to. I'm not trying that hard.
We had a
I'm checked
discussion.
out.
We had a discussion before about they were taking DNA from woolly mammoth
Yeah.
and they were making meatballs. And
Oh, I saw something about
Jesse
that.
and I were kind of like talking about like, would you eat them? Do you feel like you would eat it?
I'll try anything food wise. So I
Love
guess
I'm
that
very
so.
answer.
shameless. I'll just eat it. you put it in front of me. I'm like, why not?
Yeah. I've also got a bad thing that where I'm kind of like a dog. At some
Yeah.
point, you have to remove the food from in front of me. Otherwise, I'll just keep eating until like I gorge
Mhm.
myself to death.
I
Heard.
feel
So
like I do
I'd
that
probably
with
try.
certain things. Like French fries, I can't get enough French fries.
You can't stop the French fries.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Especially Chicky and Pete's, like they're
The crab, the
oh my
yeah, they kick. They
I
kick.
wish
Is
that
that
they
like
were
a
like
local
Red
thing?
Robin.
Yeah.
Like I wish you could just get like endless fries, but I feel like I would just be there all the time. They would get
You
so
say
sick.
Chicky and Pete's?
Yup.
Yeah.
Is that like a local thing where you are?
I guess
Um,
are they regional? I don't know. I'd be seeing them around. Are they
maybe it is only a
what?
Philly area
It
thing.
might be an East Coast thing in general.
Yeah.
Maybe. But
I'll
if
keep
you're
my
ever
eyes
out
open next
this
time.
way, definitely check
Right.
out Chicky and Pete's. The best one is in it's like I guess that would be Center City
Yeah.
or yeah, that's the best one. The last time I was in there, I was trying to win a racehorse, which I didn't really understand because they made it out to me like I was gonna win the horse, and I had been drinking quite a bit, and I
Mm-hmm.
hadn't been drinking before that for a long stretch of time. So I thought I was gonna win this racehorse. Then they tell me, "Oh, you're just winning a share in the race," and I'm like,
Okay.
"Man, I like."
She was trying to take the whole Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, I was like trying to talk to the DJ, like, "I'm gonna fold this like a heart and put this in there when you're picking out, like, make sure that you pick the heart one.
Yeah.
Show me some love."
So basically, you're like Jesse's got a bobcat and a penguin. Fuck that! I'm gonna get a racehorse.
Yeah, I mean, I knew I probably wouldn't be able to take care of the racehorse, but like I
It
really wanted to
That would be
win the
awesome to have
racehorse
like
in
a
that
as a
moment.
house pet.
And
I
If you had the racehorse as like a house pet, just hanging out in the living room, that'd be pretty badass.
my parents have a carousel horse,
those are that's sick.
and it's like an actual one from I believe it might be from the Willow Grove Mall, like
Mm-hmm.
from their original setup. But yeah, that thing's so cool.
I had this idea because once I get online, the idea is to start like they start flowing. I was like, screw the coffee table, mechanical bull. There was one for like $3,000, and I was like, I sell everything I own, replace the coffee table.
Have
It's
you
bull
ever rode
time.
one of them?
No, but I
I
am
made it 13 seconds.
13
13
seconds.
seconds.
I am trying to like. I was like, I was like, have I written one? No. I'm willing to make cuts to put a mechanical bull in the living room so
My
that
only
I can just,
suggestion, if you ever do it, like my
yeah,
girlfriend and I were like, oh, we're going to get it on it together and
yeah,
this is going to be fun. Like, whatever. Well, they were real calm with us at first. And
yeah.
then we kind of got a little cocky with it and started talking a little shit. And then they started really, dude, she had the bigger boobs, so
Yeah.
literally flew out of her shirt and hit me in the face as we flew
That's
off. I
good.
had a huge red mark on the whole side of my face for most of the night. And everyone's like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, it's just a story that's just gonna be forever, like
Forever.
being told." But
I feel like I get my ass handed to me. I feel like you'd get your ass handed. We are both small people, Allie. Airborne off the bull. But I do want one. Living room,
like
renew
we would have
time,
to
and
decide
time
who's more
more.
of the spider monkey that can like
Yeah,
hang
just get
on
in there.
because that one that's planted, like holding on to the top tusk,
Yeah,
that's the one that like has to be latched. Do
yeah,
you feel
yeah.
that you're more of a spider monkey?
I feel like I'm scrappy. I am small, yet I am scrappy, and I'm just willing to get in there. I got the willpower.
Oh my gosh, we are totally gonna have to find a place that has one. Like, I know Montana West had one, but they shut down forever ago. We're definitely gonna have to find
We'll find one, and it'll be in my living room,
one.
crashing through the floorboards.
Speaking of which, so
I
what
don't.
you've
You
just
can't
been
segue
every
from that into anything serious.
I know, I like don't even know where to start. I'm just gonna go down the list because that's just how I do. I just do random. And Jesse is
Right.
basically the same way. We go into this with like key points, but never really stick to it. What's your weirdest encounter you've ever had with a fan?
Oh man. I don't know. Weirdest encounter. Um, you have those oddities like people coming up to you asking you to sign their baby,
Oh,
or
How many babies have you signed?
sadly enough, I've signed a few babies. I've
wow.
I have signed, and I don't know, like a lot of times people have you like sign a body part and they'll get it tattooed. Surely
Yeah.
they didn't tattoo it on the baby.
Yeah, yeah. That was weirdly enough, that was like in my brain. I was like, why would you do sign the baby? Because like it's not like the baby can get the tattoo.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, people asking you to sign weird stuff like babies. I don't know really if it'd be an
It's like the
encounter, but
baptism.
there was a show in London and somebody threw their prosthetic leg up on stage one night. And
Hopefully it
for
didn't hit
some
anyone.
reason, well, um, for some reason, I got the idea that I was going to do a shot out of this prosthetic leg.
I love that.
And so I went over, picked up the prosthetic leg, took it over to the guitar tech, and told him to fill it up with Jägermeister. So he filled it up with Jaeger, and I proceeded to drink out of this prosthetic leg. And it wasn't until, sadly enough, it wasn't until afterwards, you're tipping the leg back down, that I realized what I had really done. In the fact that this beautiful soul that threw their prosthetic leg up on the stage had probably had that thing. Well, not probably. Obviously, it had that on all day long.
Yeah.
So the
Bloody leg.
yeah, bless his heart. Yeah, I probably got some nub cheese in there
Yeah,
somewhere, and
absolutely.
I I think
We
I'm
used to
safe
have
now from all
at one of the
disease.
bars that I used to go to, they had a ski and it had like 4 or 5 shots on it, and you would all take it at the same time. Like I remember I had it down to a science at that point because I used to like go there usually for Thursday night and Friday night. But man, I would watch these girls try to drink Jaeger and it would just be all over them. And like I love the ones that would be wearing like a light color and would just have
Oh,
just slop from the
Yeah.
Jaeger ski. So my friends and I love watching Impractical Jokers, and we are constantly playing pranks on each other. I mean, just literally any chance we get. You've been best friends with the guys from Drowning Pool for how long? I mean, like what, since you were in your teens?
I think we did our first run of shows together when I was in Soil. I think we did our first shows together when we were like 2002.
Mhm.
Um, I met Dave in Holland at the Ozfest in Holland. So it was from
Oh
that
wow.
point on that we became good friends and all. So yeah, there's been some, and then of course becoming a member of the band. And later on, the stupidity that used to take place on a nightly basis in Dallas when I'd be there for rehearsals and stuff was there's probably pranks involved in that, I'm sure, but I wouldn't remember any of them.
You don't
Um,
remember any? Because I was going to ask, what is the best prank that anyone has either pulled on you or that you've pulled off on someone else?
well, that's you do bring up a good point there because that is a thing. tour wise. If you're on tour with a band that you like, like the last show of the tour, you pull off pranks with each other, usually on stage and everything. Just so if you happen to be in the crowd of the last night of a tour when the bands really get along and they're having fun, you'll see some jackass work going on stage,
Bufoonery.
behind stage, on the side of the stage. And I remember one night in San Francisco, we were with Static X, and I got the idea that it would be funny to do my hair like Wayne's.
Yeah.
Um, so we had a band with us. The opening band was this band called Twisted Method, and they used to do all the big spiked hair and all that shit. So as soon as Static X took the stage, as soon as we came off, Static X went on. I ran to Twisted Method's dressing room. I stood on my hands on their couch, and they held my hair down. They were like circling me for a while with I don't know how many cans of Aquanet they used on me. But it didn't turn out quite right. It turned out more like a twisted, like a treasure troll. It was kind of just like a big dunce cap standing
Yeah,
off my
yeah.
head. But I ran onto the stage, and Wayne was a machine. I mean, that guy never missed. He was every night. He was just on, and he was up at his mic at the front of the stage, so he didn't see me come running across the stage. The rest of the band's cracking up, laughing. He's carrying on. The music's still going. So I ran up right beside him, and he must have saw me out of the corner of his eye because he just gave me that double look. And for the first time in like 3 tours of being with Static X, I saw Wayne finally break, and he just had to back away from the mic, and he just laughing his ass off. But yeah, it was like some kind of messed up, deranged treasure troll running around on the stage. Um,
That's so good.
there's been, we had the non-point guys broke onto our bus one night while we were on stage and covered the. I probably can't say that in this day and age. That's why I'll take offense. So never mind. Anyway, but there was we've done a lot of stupid stuff. We we raided we actually that same night we got up on their stage and we filed up one after another. One guy carrying a table goes down. The next guy comes up, stands behind the table. This is right on the middle of their stage as they're playing. The guy comes up behind the table and is standing there. Me and CJ, this is when I was in Drowning Pool. Me and CJ then file up right behind him. We each take a seat that they brought up real quick, and we're sitting on either side of the table, and he starts dealing us in. So the whole time they're doing like this serious non-point bullet with a name on it,
Yeah.
whatever the song was at the
Yeah.
time. Here we are completely acting like there's not like a damn thing going on, playing cards in the middle of their stage. So just stupid crap like that. But
Yeah.
I've heard of some glorious ones that involved covering the interior of a band's bus with plastic and putting about 25 live chickens in the bus so that when they came off stage, their bus was
You know,
full
there's a
of live
website that you
chickens.
can order. You can order 4,000 ladybugs to be delivered to
I
someone.
saw that. Yeah, I saw that
It's
online.
called like "This Is Why You're Broke," I
Yeah.
think. Yeah, you can order like glitter bombs. You can order live ladybugs. Like, what would you be thinking if someone sent you 4,000 live ladybugs? Like, I've thought about sending it to my ex or like someone that like really like wronged me before, and I'm like, what would they even be thinking? Like, what would be going through their mind opening that? Like,
If somebody sent me 4,000 live ladybugs, I'd be like, the birds are eating tonight.
the
I
birds
want
just
to know
let
who
them
the
all
poor guy is that
blossom.
has to. Like somebody has to collect the ladybugs,
Yeah, that's somebody's job.
right? What do you do for a living? I collect ladybugs.
Yeah.
There's a lot of weird jobs out there. Speaking of which, if
There
you
really
could
is.
do anything other than sing, what would you do?
Yeah, I've been since I moved to England. I've been doing stuff. I've been helping bands out from around the UK. I have a lot of fun with that. Just kind of, I wouldn't say managing because I
Yeah.
don't necessarily like the things that would be
Come off of it.
sometimes associated with managing, but just helping them out, giving them, trying to point them in the right direction. Because I mean, the industry is so different than what it was when I was coming up. but at the same time, it's kind of a challenge to come up with new ways of trying to get the success for these guys and girls that they deserve it. So I've taken a lot of fun just doing that. Just it's away from the performance side of things, but it's helping other bands out try to get a taste of success, trying to better themselves, trying to better their position, I should say. Trying to better their position to get recognized and all. So I've been having a lot of fun with that.
Do you feel like the scene's a lot different over there? Like just the music scene in general?
It always has been. The metal scene, like if you turn on mainstream radio over here, you will hear like B-sides of Black Sabbath and obscure
Yeah.
metal bands, some of which I've never even heard of before, and that's on the mainstream radio. So it's really cool in that aspect. You walk into a pub or something, and you still got people living that punk. They're
Yeah.
still punk inside and out, and there's just it's a way of life over here. And I don't. I mean, I know it is to many people back home in the States, but it just seems like it's much more common over here.
Yeah.
It's much more. It's not only much more common, but it's more accepted, I should say. Um, you walk into if you walked into an office building, it would be nothing to see the 50, 60-year-old receptionist with some crazy dyed hair
Yeah.
and just looking like, when she leaves there, she's going to finish off the ensemble and go hit a punk bar that night. It's much more accessible. It's much more accepted, and it's a different feeling. And I feel like once metal fans are great no matter where it is, but it seems like it's more accepted over here, I should say.
Yeah.
It's more of just an accepted way of life. It's just you like if you come up to anybody, they don't even have to look. They just come up to anybody and be like, "Are you going to download this year?" One of the big festivals.
Yeah.
They look at you like you're insane because that's just a part of life. You go
Yeah.
to you pay taxes, you go to download, and you die.
There's a
It's
lot of
just
dedication.
I feel like we're in the wrong place, Jesse.
We definitely are. They're, you know, too
it
much
is
of they don't want
As
yeah,
far as
to
the
people.
states, what would you say is the hypest city to perform in? Like, what's the hypest crowd?
I'm not gonna. I can't answer that.
You're supposed to
Gonna
just say
piss
your
somebody off.
hometown.
Um, right, Dunkirk, Indiana. No, you know, as far as rock and metal goes, you've got your East Coast cities and your West Coast cities that will always be cool. They'll always be really accepting of it. But really, there's something about that Midwest that is
Yeah.
just. I mean, there's something about the Midwest that's just you're going to sooner walk into a bar and hear AC/DC or something than you will anything else. There's some really great just rock like Kansas City, and yeah, I was lucky enough. It's different now, but I was lucky enough to get my start musically in Chicago. And back in the early 2000s, in the late 1990s and the
Yeah.
early 2000s, Chicago was amazing because there was Soil and there was Disturbed and No One from Zero and all these bands that were on the scene together, and we made it such a healthy environments where that city was really cool to be in at that point in time because all the bands were working together and pulling for each other, and you saw it at the shows because it created a scene. The bands working together created the scene that the bands in turn needed. So the Chicago scene was really amazing back then. But you have that in a lot of pockets. Now there's another side to that. There's a side to some of your greatest historical rock cities, music cities in the States, like Seattle and LA and New York. they were blessed to have these amazing scenes at some point in time in the history of music, and still do. But they really, like, when you think about Seattle, you had the you could have left your apartment, your house at any point in time when you lived in Seattle at the right time and went to just the local fucking bar and caught Soundgarden or Mother Love Bone or friggin', Pearl Jam, any of those. Same thing with LA when that
Mhm.
scene was kicking at its fullest, or New York. And whereas nowadays, when you play those places, love them, and some some great metalcore fans there still. Not I don't mean cores and metalcore, but like a
Yeah,
core
no, I know what you're saying.
faction of metal fans there, and or just music fans in general. But also a lot of people, they lived through that time when that scene was the scene. And so a lot of times you kind of get that feeling like when you hit a stage in some of those places, like they're all sitting there like, yeah, go ahead, try to impress me. You
Yeah,
just go ahead,
yeah.
do what you try to make me smile, jackass. So it's because they were blessed to be in such an amazing scene for so many years that it can be a little tough to please some of those places, but still great. I mean, there's great metal and rock fans no matter where you are, whether you're in Tennessee or whether you're in some backwoods town in Alabama, or whether you're in New York City. There's great friggin' rock fans in the States. It just
So
seems you think about the
karaoke has
UK and
been
you
like
talk.
a huge thing lately, like going around, like all the bars recently have been like really like all popping up with these
Karaoke.
karaoke nights. Have you ever
Yeah,
gotten up there with all the songs that you sing? Have you ever gotten up there without really like saying anything and performed one of your songs
once,
once?
one time, one time. Because usually my answer when somebody asks me about that is it's real simple. I always just say nobody goes to work on a day off. But
Yeah.
yeah, but I did get drunk enough one night that I did get up and do it. But the only thing I remember about it is that I fell off the stage and I busted my face all up on the table that I landed on. So from that point on, that was enough of an excuse for me to never try it again.
What are your karaoke songs, Allie? I need to know. It's my burning
I
question.
only have one.
Okay.
And like everybody laughs. My best friend and I were talking about it earlier. He's like, "Do you even have a song?" I can't sing
Okay.
at all. But Sir Mix-a-Lot, I like big butts.
That's the one.
Yeah, I
Wow.
remember it no matter what. I feel like I can kind of be like energetic and like
Yeah.
you can kind of dance any way you want. Like I don't know. I feel like I have a lot of like leeway with that one.
I got
What's
plenty.
yours?
Okay, we got Mother Danzig. I'm gonna kill it every time. We got Marcy Playground, Sex and Candy. Everybody's
Yes.
getting horny in
I
that
just
room.
heard that the other day. It came up on 90
Everybody's getting
Brunch.
horny in the room. I'm putting on a show. And then I do Genuine Pony. That's a bop.
I wasn't expecting that one.
That one, the whole room's either gonna be laughing or they're gonna be like, please for the love
Do
of
you
God,
do
get
the
this
little like ride the pony? Like,
pony. I gyrate, I dance. They say don't let her go again. Um, or they're like, Jesse's killing it. You're a star, baby. 10 out of 10. So I'm a karaoke girl. I'm a karaoke girly.
do you have a karaoke song that you is your go-to, Ryan?
No, I won't do it.
You know what,
Oh,
Dad?
you won't do any
Yeah,
He's
karaoke.
not
no,
working
no, no.
on his days off.
Right, right. Nobody goes to work on their day off. Yeah,
Yeah, I understand that. I don't know though. I heard Danzig works out to his own music, allegedly.
I'm not touching it.
You're not touching that? That's the rumor I heard.
I don't
Makes
know. Drowning pools and like they're in a lot of different categories with me. Soil, I mean Halo is on quite a few of my playlists. We were just talking about it the other day. Like, do you have a song that is on all of your playlists? It's on your workout playlist, your cleaning playlist, your car play, like whatever.
Me?
Yeah.
No, right now, to be completely honest with you, because of just joining back with the Drowning Pool guys, my playlist. This is sad, but my playlist right now is just Drowning Pool stuff, trying to remember the damn lyrics.
That's awesome.
So that's so right. Ever since I got back with the guys here a couple weeks ago, if I'm listening to music, it's generally it's a bunch of Drowning Pool stuff, just trying to get my old gray matter to
Yeah.
actually remember the stuff that I wrote back in the day and remember Dave's stuff. So.
That's the other thing, like,
Um,
with you having the 2 bands, have you ever got up there and kinda, like, blanked? Or been distracted by a fan? Like, people are always, like, flashing or, like, doing something. When you have so much going on, have you ever just forgot?
Um, I have been caught off guard, but not because of like the things you were mentioning. It's the thing. I remember one time it, you get used to seeing certain faces in certain towns. You may never have met the person. You may
Yeah.
never meet the person. You may never get that chance or that opportunity to meet the person. But there's certain faces that you almost relate to seeing in certain cities. And there was this mother daughter that used to come out to our shows in San Diego all the time. And they would come out to the meet and greets and stuff. So got to know them in a very distant aspect like that, just being in meet and greets and all. And one time in Cincinnati, Ohio, I saw them in the crowd and it literally threw me completely off of I lost the lyric. I It wasn't even a cool place where you could just hold up the mic and let the crowd
Yeah.
know. It was like in the middle of a verse. It was like, whereas I went stupid and lost the lyric and everything because my eye caught them and my brain just went, you don't belong here. And it threw me for a loop. So little
So
instances like
the
that.
different
Yeah. Every once in a while I'll see something. That would be the one time I remember like really seeing something. And it was just that. It was just that moment of, wait a minute, you don't belong here.
huh,
Just a weird little throw.
Were you gonna say something, Jesse?
now I can totally get why that would throw you off. That would throw me off too.
Yeah, I don't, but I don't know if people understand because you do. You get used to
Yeah.
seeing. I'm very much. Um, I've been on, and I'm not naming it. I've been on tour with bands that that between song banter is the same thing. I've actually stood back at merch one time, and the merch guy from one of the bands was saying what the singer was going to say right before he said it between every song. And he had it word for
Association.
word. He had it word for word of what the between song banter was going to be.
That's so funny.
And I've never probably mainly because my memory isn't good enough to remember what to say. I couldn't follow a script between songs. So it's always for me the live show is special because it's what's going on right then and there. It's that feedback that you're getting at the moment. It's that give and take that you're having with that particular crowd that particular night, to where I do make a lot of eye. When I see a face that should be in San Diego but they're in Cincinnati, it messes with me.
It's so cool to hear that you notice those little things about the fans. Like, those are
It
the kind of
must feel
things that I
special.
love to hear about, like, when people are talking about experiences. Like, the fact that you noticed that that mother and daughter came to your shows and that they were in a different place, like, with the distracting, like, I love that. I love everything about it.
I get it. It really sucked at the time.
Yeah, but it's a cool story to be able to go
Yeah, yeah,
back, and I
yeah, but
hope that
it
that
was a good
woman
laugh after.
I hope that woman and her daughter are watching this, like, "Oh, that was us."
Yeah.
So if you could make a documentary, if somebody was making a
Oh,
documentary about your life, who would you cast to play yourself?
I've actually said this before. I would want the actor. I don't know his name, and if I knew his name, I probably couldn't. I've seen it many times because I've looked it up every single time I've had this conversation. Um, it, you ever seen the movie Blood Diamond with Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The the uh the African guy in that movie.
Really?
Okay.
I
I
think
was thinking
you throw.
Charlie Hunnam. I was definitely thinking Charlie Hunnam from Sons of Anarchy and Pacific Rim.
Yeah, I'd want to go with something like maybe Tattoo from the old Fantasy Island,
Okay.
Yeah.
or or maybe that Louis guy, the guy that played Wednesday's dad in the Wednesday series.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe him. Somebody just throw a blonde wig on him, and
Yeah.
just I think I'd want something like that to where people just be like, "What the fuck?"
I could only. I'm picking Natalie Portman. I feel like she's the only one who could portray me.
Oh, I thought
Like,
you meant for me. I was like,
I'm going for the Emmy.
I don't know who I would maybe Emma Stone. I like
I
her.
feel like Emma Stone could do you. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like she's like on the edge. She does a little bit like she does kind of stick with the teeny bopper movies, but
Yeah.
on the other hand, like she can kind of do the serious, like more adult movies. I'll take her. I'd want like Emma Stone more like House Bunny time though.
Okay. I want Natalie Portman Black Swan, but I want it to be her behaving like that under minor inconveniences. You know?
In the black tutu.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
with
everybody
like,
has said through the
holes.
years to do that makeup,
Yeah.
and I look at it and I'm like, yeah, but that's like a masterpiece. That's like a work of art. I don't know. I do have the dress though ready for 31 days.
Okay. I love that. Very
I could
exciting.
be the white swan. You could do the black
The Black
swan.
Swan. Allie does makeup 31 days. Halloween. It's just a extravaganza.
The whole month of October, I do a different character every day.
Was that what the 31 days thing is?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do 31
See,
days of Halloween.
again, I'm the oddball. I hate Halloween.
Do you really?
I know.
It's
I'm
okay.
sorry. I
I've
know.
met them. I've met the Halloween
It's
haters.
okay. We can talk
I
about this.
Yeah, we can
What's
talk.
your
We can
problem with
work through it.
Halloween?
I now I have a legitimate beef.
Okay.
I think you'll understand.
Hmm.
But there was like a 4 year period of my life where my girlfriend was one of those girls that she never just dressed up cool. It was always the slutty cheerleader or the slutty nurse or the slutty firefighter. You know, it was it was so I would be on tour and I would always get all these pictures of her at these clubs with her stuff hanging out. And it was
Yeah.
just like, man, I don't even like Halloween anymore. Every year
Sure. Oh, yeah.
Halloween would roll around and I was just like, I don't want to log on to the internet. I
Yeah.
just no, just so I from that 4 years ruined me from Halloween enjoyment completely.
Oh, I wish you would take it out on whatever costume she got. Like a sexy mouse. Like you can be so angry at a sexy mouse. Like go for it. Don't take it out on Halloween. Let's try to switch his. Let's try to switch the vibe with you and Halloween. I'll start flooding you with the pictures each day and kind of give you a
Right?
different vibe with it and bring back the fun of it.
I want to do, um, you know, um, like I don't know. I'm thinking like Adam's Family this year. I might try to do something. You know, I'm thinking I might do Fester. Frank might do Debbie. Like something like that.
I just went to a 90s party not too long ago and this couple dressed up as Jay and Silent Bob.
I love that.
He didn't talk all night long. The guy like totally committed, and everybody said he was like a major talker. Like he was the guy
That's
at
so
the bar that would like be talking all night. Totally committed all night until he won the contest. Did not say a word. Yeah, it was pretty good.
No.
like he walked past me. I was like, oh wow, oh yes, this is awesome.
10 out of 10.
But so, can
Yeah.
you give us a little about any upcoming performances for Soil Drowning Pool over in the States?
Oh, May 6th is Panama City Beach with Pantera, Drowning Pool and Pantera.
But
Then I don't know what's going on with Sick New World. Yeah, we're supposed to be doing that, but I'm not sure if we are. I'm not sure what's going
yeah.
on there in Vegas on the 13th. And then right after that, I leave for Australia for some dates with Soil. And
Nice.
then there's a lot of we're doing a Rock for Vets. Soil Drowning Pool is a Rock for Vets festival in Michigan. There's a lot of different festivals that a lot of one-off festivals that Drowning Pool's doing. And a lot of stuff in the works, some really cool stuff that I'm looking forward to. I'm hoping that we can get some more USO shows going and do some more shows for the troops and stuff like that around the world. So we're in the works with a lot of different things right now. But the fest that we've been pushing on the old Book of Faces are the ones really that I could mention right now if I could think of them. But those were a couple.
Couple
Now,
good.
I know that it was really important to Dave before he passed that, you know, Soil and Drowning Pool kind of work together and collaborate in the whole nine yards. Can we look forward to that happening in the near future?
Are you referring to this dream that some people have been sharing on the old interweb about a soil drowning pool tour?
Of course I am. And I'd like to put it out in the universe a little bit more.
I I personally, eh, I think it'd be cool, but here's the problem with that. If you really break it down, and I didn't even think about this. This was something that somebody else on the business side of things brought up to me,
Hmm.
which was we do we play 5 to 6 nights a week. It's 5 or 6 different cities every week doing your show. If we did that, if each band played like an hour and a half set, that would be doable. Like I could belch my way through that for a night,
Yeah.
you
Mhm.
know. But after a while of playing 3 hours, yelling for 3 hours,
You'd be burned out.
at some point and even some nights, just because the voice it's an organic thing, throat's an organic thing. It isn't like you can't change the strings on it or change a head out or something if something's not quite right. It's going to do what it wants to do. So there's going to be some nights where whoever's playing last is going to get the worn out Ryan.
Hmm.
Okay.
And how fair is that to the fans of that band
Yeah.
if they're getting the worn out voice uh singing every Vince the worn out voice singing every other word type thing because it's the sixth night in a row of singing 3 hours. And that was a point that was well taken because I wouldn't want Soil fans or Drowning Pool fans to walk away from a show uh, feeling like they didn't get their money's worth.
Yeah.
And that'd be my only drawback on that actually happening would be the ability to deliver to the best of my own personal
Yeah.
ability night in and night out doing that.
How
So that would
how
be the only
how
the
do
only
you
drawback from.
how do you balance being with both bands?
I'm gonna find out in May because yeah, May's gonna be the first time. May's gonna be the first time. Like I said, we got the show with Pantera, then we do we whether or not we're doing the Vegas thing. Um, Even if we don't do that, uh, there's a chance that maybe we'll be spending a little studio time during that period if we're not doing that show, and then it's directly on a plane to Australia to do soil stuff. And the soil set is going to be really unique in the aspect that we are doing for the foreseeable future with soil. We're going to be doing the entire Scars album from beginning to end. So there are songs
Uh,
there that we've never played live. Um, so
Now, will
it's
you
going to be
be
really
releasing them like to the rest of us? Like you said that you'll be playing them in Australia, but is there a way for the rest of us
well.
out
I know
there?
right now there's also in August there's 3 dates. Soil's got 3 dates scheduled in August back in the States,
Okay.
and both bands are like there's a lot of stuff I can't talk about yet, but both
Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
bands like
No problem.
my calendar looks like somebody went to hell on it with a paintball gun because everything's you know this band's this color and this band's that color. Well, just before I was a little late getting to jumping on tonight because I had rehearsal for an acoustic band that I do here in England.
Okay.
So um, yeah, my calendar, my show calendar, it's pretty chaotic looking. So next month will be the first time of really diving into doing both soil and drowning pool, flopping back and forth. Um, how the gray matter in my shoulder boulder here handles remembering the lyrics for all those songs. It'll be interesting.
Now, if
We'll leave it
somebody
at that.
wanted
It'll be
to follow
interesting.
all your stuff, do you have a preferred social media platform if they want to follow Soil, Drowning Pool, your solo, like the other projects that you're doing? I mean, is there a place where they can find just the stuff on you, or do they kind of go separate?
Yeah, yeah, I've got my own page, whatever you want to call it, musician page, artist page, whatever that that I've had for a while that I that I've been trying to keep. With all the stupid algorithms and crap,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it gets overwhelming.
you gotta be careful about like how many times you post during the day and stuff to where people will actually see what you're posting. So I've got a handful of stuff for soil to post about, a handful of stuff to drowning pool to post about, and then also I just like to just throw the stupid crap that falls out of my head every once in a while, just to hopefully solicit a smile or a chuckle from a fan, or I hate the word fan, but the people that come on there to read the stupid shit that comes out of my head.
Yeah,
So
your community. Keep the
yeah,
community. Huh?
so but there is a Facebook page, Ryan McCombs, 37, maybe. Um, I'll look right now.
And
Can you still
CJ's
see
wife
me there?
does. CJ's wife does. You are in a couple fun TikToks. I was going through. I was like, okay, I'm making fun TikToks.
I don't. Yeah, that's a world that I haven't dove into yet. So I am not familiar with the TikTok thing at all.
It's fine if you ever want to do some duets. You just sing and do your thing. I'll make up a little stupid TikTok dance to it. Got this.
Oh, so that blacked me
I have.
out.
Yeah.
I'm doing it again. Well, this is
Hmm.
Are you
all
still
right. Yeah,
there?
got it.
Okay.
Got it.
Got her. Got him.
Yeah, it's I fucking forgot it already. Yeah, yeah. So it's official Ryan McCombs is the Facebook thing. So it's whatever Facebook dot backslash forward slash uh whatever official Ryan McCombs. So that uh I try to keep up to date with what both bands are doing on that side. And then of course you can check out each band's each band has their own website as well as their
Yeah.
Facebook and all that crap that both band could do a lot better at keeping people informed, but we're trying. I'm
Oh, like
trying to push
yes.
that. Yeah.
So we did have a couple questions that basically we've been threatened that we have to ask you. No, I'm just kidding. We need to
Great.
know, did the bodies ever hit the floor? And if they did, how many bodies were there?
We want to know about the bodies.
Yeah, we need to know about the bodies.
I wasn't even there, man.
I know, but you talked to Dave. You performed it the last time with him. I know you know about the bodies. You know something. Let us in.
The one thing that I know about the bodies is, and this is going to be, I'm again, if I haven't been lame enough, I'm going to be lame here once again. There was a meaning behind that song. Um, that was really like Dave's point of that tune was really a connection with the live crowd at shows, and it was you, like we do like nowadays we do we did and they continue to and we will continue to doing a lot of stuff with like the USO and MWR and
Mm.
certain factions of the military have definitely grabbed a hold of that song over the years, and so
It's been
it's
part
gotten
of,
a
I
different.
believe, SmackDown. I think it was used in SmackDown.
Yeah, I'm sure that we did the theme for SmackDown for many years too.
Yeah,
Um, but the original basis of that song that when Dave wrote it was really just more of a hey for him personally. It had to do with that connection of feeling one with the people at the shows,
Yeah.
and
That
just
makes a
that.
lot of sense when I think about it. I'm like, that does make sense. Like, I get it.
hmm,
Yeah, I think Dave did really well on something that I've always tried to do, which was that I think he wrote in a way that it wasn't so pointed. It wasn't. This song is about this blue can, and if you listen to these lyrics, all you're going to get from it is how much I hate this blue can or how much I
Yeah.
love this blue can. He wrote about if he was singing about that blue can, he wrote in a way that the people could take from it whatever they needed from it at the time they were listening to it, if that made any sense. It may
Yeah.
have been about a blue can today. And I always use I always use this same analogy with like Lane Staley and Jerry Cantrell. That was the first band for me that lyrically I was just like it didn't matter what I was going through in my life. It didn't matter what I was feeling. That song, that Alice in Chains song,
got you
I
through it.
thought they were singing about my friggin' issue. And I think Dave always did really well with that. That songs that weren't, that his blue can song may have been someone else's breakup. It may have
Yeah.
been someone else's. It may have been someone else's angry aspect of their life, or sad aspect of their life, or frustrating aspect of their life. And he wrote it. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying. He wrote
Mhm.
in a way that people could take out of it what they
And
needed to take out of it at the time. And I think that's a beautiful thing as a lyricist.
Okay, and we've got one more music related question that everybody also has thrown at me. How long can you hold floor in the song bodies? How long can you hold it for?
I
The
don't know.
scream.
I've never timed myself. I don't know. To be completely honest with you, I've been doing nothing musically for a while besides the acoustic stuff. Um, waiting on Soil to start booking again, and then before I got back with Drowning Pool. So when I got the phone call when we started talking about doing some Drowning Pool stuff again, um, for the first time in my career, I actually went to a vocal coach,
okay.
Really?
and because I was worried, to be completely honest with you, I singing acoustically, you're actually singing, you're actually
Yeah.
carrying
Mhm.
melody, and you're actually hitting notes instead of just yelling. And so I was concerned about being able to get that for my entire career. Um, I just did what I did, but there was COVID, and then there was that coming out of COVID. Um, really, the only thing, like I said, the only thing I had done coming out of COVID was the acoustic stuff here in the UK. So when it came time to thinking about jumping on stage again and doing some of this drowning pool material that I haven't done in ages, I did. I went to a vocal coach, and it was just the one night, but just getting some ideas of some exercises and stuff that I could do. So for the first time in whatever 20 some years, all of a sudden I'm sitting there doing the laws and crap, trying to get make sure that I still had trying to get that range back a little bit. And there was a moment where she was like, "Let me hear you just hold a note." And I did, and her her eyes slowly started widening and widening. It was like, God damn. Just, it was
The
just,
main thing.
yeah, it just kept going. So I think I could hold, like, if you timed me on it, I think I could hold it. I think I would
Well,
do Dave justice on it.
my
I
10
won't
year
do it
old,
now, so don't even ask,
well,
because that
yeah,
yell thing's not
my 10-year-old will never let me hear the end of it if I don't at least try to get you to see how long you can go.
it's not no, it's not gonna happen.
She said.
Not even a little.
No, I'm sorry, hon. I'm sorry, but this does go back. This goes back to the karaoke thing. This is nobody goes
He's
to work on a day
not.
off.
He's not working. He's not working on his downtime.
No,
Well, next time you
we're
do
all
it, I'm gonna have to take your
together,
live
everyone's having a good
and
time.
count.
There's
We'll take your live from one of your shows and I'll sit there and count it out and we'll see how long
He's
on
bringing a
average you
stopwatch to the next show.
do. But
yeah.
thank
You know
you
what?
so much.
I'll take one to Panama.
Yeah.
Definitely. And send it. And I'll time it out and we'll see how long you can hold it.
All right, all right.
So it's almost time, but real quick, I just wanted to announce a couple of the upcoming guests that are coming on a pretty little podcast. That would be the Grimjacks that are making their debut, and also the sexy front woman, Molly Rednick from the band Living Dead Girl. They will be on and they'll be both chatting about music and touring and just new songs that they're putting out and just what is going on for this summer. I wanted to just address real quick before we sign off. Again, April 29th, Nailbite, Meg Dillon, and friends team up to support Team Tinman at Love Drafts in Mechanicsburg, PA. Again, thank you so much, Ryan, for taking the
Oh,
time to come on. And please tune in next week to a pretty little podcast. Bye.